broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
We have to, you guys. Yep. We almost started with the kazoo version, but that I would have been done with the show right then and there. Hello, Robots in Disguise fans, and welcome to another episode of the AfterBuzz TV After Show for Transformers Robots in Disguise. Today we are covering episode 22, Similarly Different. And with me today I have Emma the Speedster Fyffe.
Hello, you can find me all over the internet and otherwise at Emma Fyffe.
And I am Katie Kia Prime Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. We are, as usual. It's one of those days, folks. It's 105 degrees outside and we're dying.
Very warm.
Yeah.
Very warm in the valley right now.
We are using the same hashtag, ABTVRID. If you have questions, comments, pithy things to say, put them in the hashtag. You may well get a shout out. And we have two wonderful guests with us today. We have Frank Marino, the director of today's episode.
Yay.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
And we have Dan Salgarolo, the script coordinator and lore keeper.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Is that like your actual job description? Is that on your business cards, lore keeper?
No, it's not.
I did try to get cat herder on my cards at one point, but that my boss did not go for that. We tried. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having
Happy
me.
to be here.
Thank you.
So, what did we think of the episode?
I liked it. I feel like this is just a question directed at me.
Yeah, kind of.
You guys have more of a personal connection to it than I do.
Kind of weird
Lord
if we didn't
Megatron is in Japan. She
Yes.
left this morning, so she's missing this week and next week. And Alexis, the Record Taurus, is on a vacation to find herself, I suppose.
Yes.
And she's also missing this week and next week.
Record's
So
not here.
it's gonna be.
It's just blondes only.
Damn Skippy.
No, I really liked this episode. I always like episodes that harken to characters' backstories, and in this one we got a little of like where Grimm came from and what he was all about in his Cybertronian days. So I enjoyed it.
I think we kind of already got that just by knowing Grimm's rap
True.
sheets. That it's nothing but property destruction.
Yeah, but it was cool to see somebody else who he was involved with, and also to see.
I don't know that he knew Scowl.
I was under the impression that they had some sort of past relationship, or that he just, I don't know, they were very fast friends if they didn't know each other at all.
I think it was just like Dinobot.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Okay.
It was. Kindred spirits.
It struck me as they had a past relationship, but anyway.
I think if they'd had one, he wouldn't have been clueless about Scowl's rap sheet.
I guess not, but I liked seeing Grimm think that he could change the Dinobot because he himself had changed. You know,
Yes.
I liked that he thought, oh, well, Bee's been such a great mentor to me, and he made me into a better person, so I'm going to do the same thing because all Dinobots are the same. They just like, they like
They're
wrecking.
all dinos.
Yeah, they like wrecking things, but they're not bad.
Or Minotaur.
Or a Minotaur. That's so funny.
And I'm kind of sad that Alexis isn't here because Grimm's her favorite character.
I know.
So this would have been right up her alley.
It's my favorite character too.
Oh, there you go.
Of the 4 episodes I got to do season 1, that's definitely my favorite. That's why I came today. Teresa asked me if I wanted to come on the first episode I did, which was 14.
Okay.
Clamp down.
Yep.
Oh my God, what a great episode.
And I said, hold off. I think 122 is the one I want to go for. Yeah. And thank goodness because I heard 118 didn't go over so well.
Which one was 118?
Octopus. Hey, I got you with the Autobots.
Yeah.
Boy, what's with all the hitting and the punching?
I said some things and
I had a similar reaction. The first time I heard the voice, at first I was, whoa, really? But it grew on me. It did. And it will.
like a fungus. Well, thank you guys for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
And yeah, anytime you want to chime in or if you just want to laugh at us going off on the wrong tangents, please, by all means.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the lore master over here.
Yes.
So you're the one that I need to ply with.
Strokey bit. Yeah.
You're the one that I need to ply with alcohol and sweets if I want actual answers to the questions I've been asking all season.
Bribery.
Like, who's actually in charge of Cybertron? And where's the rest of Optimus's team? And stuff like that.
I just go like that and just... I just point.
For those of you listening on iTunes, Dan is not making eye contact right now.
Yeah.
It's just like, nope, denied.
I don't know how many times I can say no comment before everyone hates me. So.
Well, it's better than accidentally announcing season 2.
Right.
Hey, you're allowed to know about season 2 now. There's some
Evidently we are now,
Yeah,
but on episode like 4, it was a little premature.
Yeah,
Our favorite caretaker minicon.
Yes.
Bless. He was great in this episode.
He's fantastic.
Let's hit the little side plot. Let's hit the side plot for this one. With Denny being an awful, awful snorer. And I can relate because I've definitely shared college dorms, hotel rooms, etc. with people where it's like, I really hope I fall asleep before you or I will never sleep.
Yeah. I loved this little side plot. At first I was a little leery of where it was going because we've had so many episodes in a row now where we've seen Russell and Denny really working together as a team, which I really like because obviously they started off this season being at odds with one another, and then as it's gone on, they've gradually, become a nice little unit of human power.
But the reason was a sucker punch to the feels. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and then I realized about a quarter of the way through the episode once Denny was actually working on Russell's separate trailer home so they can be neighbors now, which I loved that. He's like, I'll make you your own trailer. We can be neighbors. It's going to be great. Like, okay, that's good solution. Just move your kid into an entirely separate housing unit.
Well, your kid wants a room separate from Dad.
Yeah. No, I thought it was cute.
I am surprised they lasted that long. We definitely packed my family into an RV one summer and did a 14-day road trip in an RV.
Oh
my God. Yeah, we all survived. It was weird. But it's definitely a personal space thing, so I'm kind of surprised that they lasted that long.
Definitely. But I liked that the story of it was that Denny really wanted to do something for Russell to make up for the fact that he hadn't really been around in his life all that much.
And that's something that hasn't come up since episode 3, episode 4.
Yeah.
It's been a while. So for that to come back, you kind of step back a moment and go, wait a minute, reframe the entire season through that lens. See how things change.
Yeah. So it was really sweet.
It's like, oh, my heart, I needed that.
Yeah. I did love that Russell was very concerned that there was going to be shag carpet and wallpaper.
And I just fixed it going, that sounds terrible. I don't know what those are.
That's my favorite line in the episode. This was my favorite part of the episode. Was that side story with those three.
And I love that it's the mailman. It's Sunday.
Yeah, fantastic. Russell just like stomping in frustration in the background.
Right.
The delivery for so much of this was spot on because Jetstorm was actually the one that had me absolutely cracking up this week. With, I think he's talking about you,
Slipstream.
And not everyone needs a Minotaur. I guess. Just like, oh my God, Jetstorm. You're the one that causes trouble. You stop it.
I do not think he would be receptive to a Minotaur.
Jetstorm, the slightly younger Roger.
Yes,
he is the younger one.
Approximately 2 to 3 years younger.
Which is very difficult to do.
It does. It's a lot of talent.
Yeah,
man.
Jokes that will never die on this show. I think we just ran through like 4 of them. Yeah. So the writing was spot on. The delivery was great.
Yeah.
I honestly think one of my favorites was just Grimlock going, B will be so proud that I thought through this one.
I know.
And a callback to the arena that got absolutely demolished last time we had a Grimlock-centric episode.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was that arena.
I can't remember if it was a Reese or not. Not
No.
sure. You
No.
don't think so? I think we designed it all brand new.
Yeah. I think I can safely say that it was a different arena.
I am reading into things that aren't there. It must be Tuesday.
That's okay. I created a whole backstory for Scout and Grimlock, so...
Because say I loved Scowl's design.
Yeah.
Because if you look at all of the other Dinobots that we have in G1 and the other classic stuff, they're all like Slag and Snort, and they all have one-syllable S names except for Grimlock. So we have a brand new dinosaur. We have Ankylosaurus?
Mm-hmm.
I believe? Yep. Following the same naming convention, and that is super clever. I loved that.
Total bad guy name.
I was about to say that. I loved that when the rest of Team B was kind of confronting Grimlock about the fact that he believed that Scowl was going to be able to be a good guy, that Sideswipe was like, his name is Scowl. It's a bad guy.
Bad guy name. Yeah.
And Grim's name is Grimlock, and he goes by Grim. Your argument is invalid.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, I also love that design. You got to give props to the design team for Scowl, because I mean, I really like, a lot of the bots are very, obviously robotic and stuff, but Scowl had like these organic spikes to him. His bot mode was my favorite, actually. I really like the Ankylosaurus.
Yep.
But yeah.
And I love the hammer being a separate part that he could switch hands and throw it and just do whatever, and then becoming part of the Dino version. Just super clever.
That actually had to be fought for. Yeah, I think.
Really? We did have to.
Yeah, I think they didn't really like the idea of it being detachable, but then they won him over on that one.
Where he throws it up in the air and he transforms and catches it.
I loved that. It's just like, wow.
Yeah,
there were a lot of stylistic decisions made in this episode that were just beautiful. Mostly dealing with Scowl. And I keep calling him Slag, and that's not his name. Slag is someone else. He's the Stegosaurus or something. I don't know my G1.
Yeah.
I attempt, but I don't.
Night Chick in the chat says that she loves Grimm's. Didn't say anything. No lazy Decepticons. Nope. And I didn't smash a thing.
Yeah.
When basically at the get-go of this episode, when Grimm first does encounter Scowl and comes back, and basically has made an agreement with him that, as long as you don't attack any humans, you just go about doing you. If you need to smash some stuff, it's fine. Just don't get any people involved.
And then the Screamers?
Yeah. And then they part ways, and he comes back and does the classic bad Autobot acting.
Did not see one single Decepticon. Nope.
Nope, not today. Nope. And all it takes is B just going, Grim. It just completely breaks.
We used to have a great... This episode when we did the animatic, it was about 3 minutes over. So we had to cut quite a bit. And some of it was some comedy, some of it was the action at the end, that fight with the sort of end fight between Grimm and Scowl.
I felt like that went really quickly.
It went a little fast because there was just too much. There was really nothing else when we looked through the episode to cut.
Right.
So we trimmed as much as we could. Unfortunately, there had been enough fighting already up to that point that we felt we could trim a little bit. One of my board artists is Juan Leon, who is famous for doing enormous set piece fights.
Okay.
You can always tell which act Juan worked on because it's usually a lot thicker where the other acts are like this. And unfortunately, that also meant we left a lot on the cutting room floor.
He did the Octopunch battle too, right?
Yes.
At the end.
With the ocean liner under. Wasn't there a boat involved?
Yes. The one where where they end up tying the Octopunches things everywhere.
That's right. I remember that very vividly now.
That awesome shot where they go all around and he's just kind of like whipping his.
That was a Juan special. But one of the things we did cut were some of the comedy. We trimmed some of the comedy. So I had played it up that everybody stared at Grimm for a while, and he was just kind of like for maybe 3 seconds. Okay, I saw it. But again, we were just so strapped for time on that one. We just cut it all down.
And honestly, either of them would work.
Right.
I'd buy them staring at him until he breaks, and I'd also buy him breaking immediately with that tone of voice.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think that either way is justified in terms of the characterization that we've seen for Grimlock.
Yeah.
Because, and something I really liked about this episode was that we saw that he's not as dumb as he seems. Yeah.
But his celebrating, I thought this through was just like, oh, baby.
Yeah.
Honey, you're adorable and you tried.
His innocence, because I love the line where he goes, he promised he wouldn't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but later in the episode when he kind of deceives Scowl into capturing him, you
Yeah.
know, we see that like he gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On some
Or
level.
he got it. Eventually. It took him a while.
Eventually. It
Yeah.
took him a little while, but
I just love but he's my buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, honey. That's how I
Hey.
talk about my cats.
Hey, buddy.
Scal is not your cat.
Yeah.
So what else wound up on the cutting room floor?
Let me think about if anything else. A couple of there were some back and forths in the whole Denny Russell fix-it thing. And just, you kind of get to the end and you go, okay, we've had a few beats of this. We could lose one. Or there's one or two too many. Same thing with the fight. It's like we could trim it. It could work. The
music bit.
The music bit.
That
Okay.
Preston was talking about.
So at the spa, this was great. You guys would have loved this. You guys would have died. So when the Autobots show up and Scal's still there, but all the humans have scattered. There's a showdown a little bit. No fight, and there's music playing, and there's they're looking back and forth, and Scal goes, "I'm sorry, man. With this music playing, I can't take you guys seriously."
And just goes off and starts his rampage.
And then he starts the rampage. So we cut right to the rampage. And then there was, what else happened? Sideswipe yells, "B, I got this." And he does one of those, you know how Strong Arm did a call, one of those radio calls as if she's an announcer. Sideswipe goes, "Attention everyone, there's like a loose kangaroo?"
The kangaroo
that's in
did
there.
make it.
Oh, that was in there still.
Yeah.
Okay,
It made
sorry.
We were just like, Sideswipe,
Kangaroo?
what the heck?
Then it goes-
Sideswipe is not allowed to come up with
Right.
plans or act anymore.
Sorry, that was cut at one point, and we put it back in. I do remember
okay.
now. Excuse me. But there was a part where when B, and a remnant of it stayed in, where he goes, "Everybody split up. Whoever sees Scal first, sing out." He says that. Sing out.
Weird.
He says, "Sing out."
Yeah.
And Strong Arm used to turn around and go, "Did you just say sing?"
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed that he had said, you know, whoever sees it first, sing out, and I was surprised that nobody reacted.
Yeah.
There
to
used to
that.
be.
'cause
I
it's a
missed
very
that
human
entirely.
colloquialism.
Yeah, no, I totally
And she just
remember
and it's
that.
all in turn. She just goes, "Did you just say sing?" And she just kind of goes like that and runs off.
And speaking of
Things
B,
like that.
I was not terribly I thought that his rallying cry was pretty
liked
great
it.
this
It
time.
really was not
and they were
bad.
like they are just not
No.
easily satisfied. Not at all.
Well, if Megan were here, she'd be booing it because that's what she does with puns. She
the
just
puns.
boos.
Yeah.
No, I really liked Wreck and Roll. I honestly
let's
think
wreck
that
and roll.
worked really super well.
Because
Because-
wreck things and
And it was really not as bad as some of the other very labored ones.
Gas it up and blow it out as much.
Oh my god. It's like, do you
don't remember that.
understand? I mean, this is a TV Y7 show, so we can't really go into what that means,
Right.
but
Yeah.
honey, no.
Yeah, this is actually something that we talked about on the last episode, was that B didn't have a rallying cry, and it was the
Oh,
best he'd
right.
done as a leader all season.
Yeah.
It's like, just stick with rollout. I mean, I know it's not entirely your thing, but just it works. It works.
yeah.
And then we're gonna have Optimus back, and I just can't wait for him to try rallying cry, and Optimus to be like, all right, that was sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Or have Optimus say one, and the gang still doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Well, Optimus kind
We're
of
gonna
has
take
cornered
that
the
matrix
market
of
on.
leadership back.
Optimus has cornered the market on transform and roll out.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to improve on a classic,
Absolutely.
and B keeps trying to do that.
I
Just like,
know.
honey, just it's okay, it's okay.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself.
Oh boy.
No!
Yes. And on that note, let's talk a little bit about iTunes. For those of you who have been watching from the beginning, you probably have this spiel memorized by now, but you're gonna hear it again. Thank you so much to everyone who's been listening, who's been watching, who has been racking up the view and review and like count. You guys are wonderful human beings and we adore you. In fact, we would probably not be on the air were it not for you guys, because when you subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on YouTube, like the videos, leave comments, leave reviews on iTunes, basically audience feedback, it tells our bosses that we like these people. And we like them talking about giant robots. We'd like to hear them talk about giant robots some more. Please bring them back.
So would we.
It also actually, well, thank you. It also helps with advertisers and, keeps the lights on in the studio so we can continue to talk about giant robots ad nauseum. So, Please like us on iTunes, like us on YouTube, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We're also available on SoundCloud, just as Emma says, wherever you can find AfterBuzz, wherever AfterBuzzes are sold. But you get this content entirely for free because we love you. So yes, like, comment, subscribe, do the thing. Can you pull up iTunes?
I can pull up iTunes.
It's gonna take a moment.
I have
yes.
the technology.
We have
on
the
my
technology.
computer.
We can rebuild it.
Gadget.
Yes, it's called a
Very nice.
laptop. I don't know if you've ever seen one.
Yes.
There's some sort of fruit
Because-
there.
Yeah.
It goes on your lap.
Yeah, I think it might be a pear. I don't know.
So yeah, that's another thing we do is we like reading off iTunes reviews on the show. So do the thing and you may well get a shout out. And we definitely had a contest the other week and that was taken care of. So I don't know, we might do another one. We're still pondering that. So keep your eyes peeled or ears peeled.
If
That
you're
doesn't work.
only consuming through your ears and not your eyes.
You really should be, subscribe on iTunes, but you really should be watching this on YouTube because the facial expressions are amazing. And occasionally Megan tries to throw me under the table because I make too many puns. We got anything new?
I talked about the last one that we have
Okay.
last week, which was from the lovely Soundwave fangirl, who is an ever-present
Presents.
an ever-present presence amongst our YouTube chat and our iTunes and all the things. She's great. So just keep being awesome, everyone. And if you have left a review on iTunes very, very recently, it doesn't always refresh very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So keep leaving reviews. As soon as they pop up in the feed, we'll read them on the air.
So yeah, leave it, if you want it to pop up before the show, leave it on like Wednesday?
Ish.
There's a science to this, but I'm terrible at science.
I want to shout out to Andrew in the chat roll right now, who's also super all over Twitter. He says, new Decepticon design concept, a transforming pear fruit.
What?
That was in reference to the thing on my device here. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And he also says, on behalf of Megan, boo to all the puns.
I regret nothing, and I never will.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. You know what? The puns are all right by me.
I have approval from the Lord.
Maybe I should.
Exactly,
Yes.
from the lore master.
We also have a tweet from Erica at eHungry302, and she writes, "What does it mean that Grimlock isn't acting like a Dinobot?" Now, do you want to dig into this, or do you guys want to dig into this?
That he's not acting like a Dinobot?
Yes, the accusation that Scowl makes.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's just fighting it. I thought that scene at the beginning sort of told you a little bit, where he wants to smash the tree and he kind of stops himself.
Yeah.
And he's just, And I just think that added to that story.
I think it's a nature versus nurture kind of thing.
Yeah.
That basically Grim is Dinobots by nature want to destroy things.
Yeah.
And Grim is seeing that maybe it's not so great
Yeah.
to just go around smashing things and punching stuff.
Yeah.
So
There's
he's-
more to life.
Exactly.
Like friends
Yeah.
and doing the right thing.
Once again, I felt that a lot of this episode was about just understanding the complexities of Grimlock a little
Yeah.
more. That he's not
Yeah.
quite as simple as he seems. Like, he's still very innocent and charming and sweet, but there is a level of understanding there. And in the fact that he isn't going around destroying things, he's also exercising a level of self-control that's not necessarily super common in Dinobots.
He's not
Maybe there's more to Dinobots than you think.
There's
Than
more
meets
more
the
than
eye.
meets the eye.
There you go.
And I mean, we've seen nothing but dumb smashing. We had Terra Shock a while ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The buffalo, and that was a lot of fun to watch. That was just not the sharpest tool in the shed up in there.
I think it's also a good way to show how far he's come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something, we had to kind of, since they're both Dinobots and since, Dinobots have this kind of reputation, it was very important to, how do we separate them? How do we separate these two characters? Besides the fact that we know Grimlock and we've known him for a really long time, we kind of gave Scowl that, he works for Thunderhoof. He
I
hurts
really
people.
like that.
Grimlock doesn't hurt people.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he is a wrecker, he smashes. He's not a wrecker. Sorry.
He just likes
For the prime
punching
people out
things.
there. He likes punching things.
Smash.
But he has come a long way, and he's not necessarily defined by that thing that Scowl tries to define him as. So,
Right.
Yeah.
I like it. By the way, Kari killed it on that.
Oh my god!
He's just,
yes.
I love Grimlock-centric shows, and Kari gave me a lot to work with on this one. And
He's so funny.
Yeah.
I love Kari.
Real nice guy, too.
Yeah,
How
Kari.
much of that was scripted, and how much of it did he just make up?
I'd say most of it was scripted, but he we give him room in the records to explore some lines. As long as we get the scripted line first, at least nail that, then give him some space to go ahead and try a couple things out if it wasn't pacing well. And on a show that as many lines in this one that he had a lot of room.
Yeah.
To go off and
I'll report back later with more. Nothing to report.
yeah, that stuff. Yeah,
That was great.
Some of that stuff, especially those little inner things, like it's almost like the Popeye inner voice kind of thing, where he's just kind of, still mumbling kind of thing. That's probably all ad lib.
The clever Shakespearean asides that are none of the above.
Yeah, right. My favorite line in it is where he does get accused by Scal of not being a Dinobot.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I am a Dinobot." And he's just, I love it.
Then you get your T-Rex sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
whole thing.
God.
This show. So it was my third show that I did for Transformers, and I'd never done any action shows before this. Yeah, I was all.
Could have fooled us.
Thank you. I'd always wanted to do action. I was, in animation, directors and artists often are you kind of fall into one of different genres. Usually, kid shows, primetime shows, action shows.
Right.
There's not a lot of crossover between them, just because the nature of the business is you. You get to know people, the producers, the directors, and then those people all mingle when people are out of work. Hey, call up your buddy who's good on this, right? So there's not a whole lot that go between. And I consider myself one of the lucky few that has leapt a couple times between the genres. I started out in kids animation, and then I went and did a lot of years in primetime animation, and then always wanted to do action. But those are the kind of things when you're applying for a job or you're going for an interview for a potential job, they just don't see anything on your resume that says, that convinces them you could do it.
You can do it, yeah.
The fact that we came from, Transformers went from Prime, which was hard action and hard CG, right, to a show that was a little lighter, had some comedy. Dave Hartman, and Jeff Klein and Therese Trillo were looking for, that opened up that crack just a little to look for somebody that had some comedy chops, and I kind of crowbarred that baby open and left in. And by about the third episode, this one, I think I was comfortable enough with the Transformers world and how to form the shots and how to choreograph fights that I felt confident enough to just go for it. And so that's what made this one particularly fun for me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this one was an absolute blast to watch.
Good.
It was funny. The fight choreography was amazing. The only part that kind of dragged a little was turning the train around. And that just kind of...
right. That did go on a little bit. Maybe we could have trimmed there and kept some of the other things. Right?
Yes. Did he just say
2-car
sit
train instead of 3-car train?
Right.
Yes,
There you
of
go.
course.
Literally just get rid of one train car, problem solved.
How did nobody on that train notice that?
That, I have to say, there were... I was baffled by
Tinted
the
windows.
train
Tinted
across
windows.
tinted windows. Okay. Yeah.
But just like being stopped before the station and then being bodily turned around, and I'm sure no one was upset to be like, but our stop is 40 miles away. I need to get home. What are we gonna do?
My car's parked at that lot.
Wasn't there the line from Strong Arm about the automated system turning around?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, she did say something to...
I think in a lot of these shows we've had to kind of, figure out ways around the humans that live in the city.
Hey, Scal's a kangaroo, right? So
Right.
Yes, exactly. A rare kangaroo, I believe, actually.
Half the city is in on this fan club at this point.
Right. Because there's the buffalo running down the street, right? He's part of the circus in episode 2 or 3. Or
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, everybody in the town, they're all totally in on it. Like, they know exactly what's happening, but they're afraid if they say something to somebody else, then someone else might try to put a stop to it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like everyone at this point is like... There are giant robots living in our town. It's crazy, but we're gonna roll with it. We like it.
I honestly think that we have a Love and Monsters setup where there's this fan club that's tracking the robots and has given them all nicknames and is well, this week they had this excuse, a kangaroo, that thing, really?
I know
they
you guys have some ideas for
one.
those nicknames. I know you guys have.
I would like to point out that Mars Rover 91 in the chat points out tinted windows. they're only tinted from the outside.
Oh.
You can still see through them from the
We
inside.
know it's so future. Maybe people don't want to.
They were underneath. Okay. And they couldn't see the bots underneath the train.
But that didn't mean they didn't see Slag.
They-
Slag, Scowl. Dang it. Wow.
That-
something
That'll
in my
be his
brain
nickname,
just
right? You guys do the.
No, by the
Only
time
if they get
wait a minute.
away.
By the time the
Oh,
train
okay.
came,
They did not
Right.
get away.
Yeah.
by the time the train came, Scowl had been kicked over into the trees. So they would not.
We're
stuck
going
on
with
this.
either
We're stuck on
super
this rule.
unobservant humans or humans who are in the fan club.
Yeah.
I want an episode about humans in the fan club.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
oh, and I spotted this one,
I
where
would-
the bots are kind of ancillary characters,
Yeah.
and it's all about the humans.
Yes, I would love to see an episode that was just about the humans of Crown City.
Love and monsters, but actually good.
Yeah.
And all the Doctor Who fans out there are going, oh, boo.
Aw.
Shut up. Love and
or
monsters
at
was an
least
awful episode.
or at least somebody who thinks there is and is convinced that there's bots or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they have
Yeah.
to constantly keep trying.
The
to foil-
conspiracy theorist
Yeah,
who's
exactly.
constantly failing.
Yeah.
There's multiple ways you could play this, and I know season 2 it's no longer the mythical season 2,
I know,
it's the actual season 2.
Real, honest to goodness, season 2.
The actual season 2, probably already set in stone if there's been recording and whatnot going on for it, but I definitely want humans in the town figuring things out. I want that episode. I want the reframing that's on the Christmas
I'm
list.
just imagining now, like, the opening number from Beauty and the Beast with just, like, townspeople singing about robots. It'd be really good, Hasbro. You should probably do it.
And the robots being absolutely oblivious as they're going through town.
There goes a Dinobot.
Nice.
Oh my god. Someone's gonna write that now. One of our fans
Do
is
it.
either gonna fan art that or write it or
Listen.
something. And if you do send it to us, please, it would be
Yeah.
lovely.
Send it to me too. I'll print it out and put it up on the wall in the office.
Yes.
We're doing this, guys. We're doing this.
We need to update that, don't we?
Yeah.
Because that,
We
was, that was
our,
all the fan art.
yeah, we have a fan art wall up
Oh,
in the
man.
office.
We
Yeah.
did it way early in the
Yeah.
like at the beginning, even before the
Yeah.
first episode had aired. So
Yeah.
Our fans have made some pretty good Photoshop mashup fan art. I'll have to
all
send it
right.
your way.
All right. Yeah.
Was it this one where we got the DBZ episode? Or was
Yep,
I thinking
nope,
of...
This is the one. Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
I think
there's
that was when
a-
we were in Studio A, so I'm crossing my wires with red
There's a
versus blue.
beautiful fan art that exists of it's a shot from Dragon Ball Z of Nappa and Vegeta like descending to Earth in the Saiyan pods for the first time, except Nappa and Vegeta are Marky Mark and Michael Bay.
oh god,
The only things I will accept.
As long as they take 8 episodes to get there.
Yeah, minimum of 8.
The whole season, but it's only been 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, they follow Scowl to a spa. And I have to say, this was some of my favorite, just Scowl looking at him and going, screamers are so weird. Like,
Oh,
yep. If you live in LA and you've been to one of these things, it's like, honey, you have no idea. And just, God, the choreography for this, that final fight.
It was great.
Because we talked about the kangaroo line, which, why do we let Sideswipe plan anything anymore?
I did like when they were going in and Sideswipe's like, I have an idea. And I was like, oh no. This is
you know it's going to be bad. How bad is it going to be?
I know.
That is
Ready
a
for damage
disastrous
control.
phrase.
I know.
And then it was... And no one questions it.
No.
They're
Well,
too busy running and screaming.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Little
Right.
busy.
B, B does have a bit of an exasperating.
He does.
Yeah,
Yes.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
I can't remember if
Yeah.
he face palms or
Yeah. Somebody in the chat, somebody earlier was saying that they feel like this whole show is just a series of bee face palms.
It is. I just want to see someone put all of them together
Yes.
in one long mashup.
This is what I get for letting them off
Yep.
the leash a little bit.
Exactly.
You
I
guys
have
haven't.
faith in you, and then this happens. And guys, come on.
Even Drift. Poor Drift. He had his moment.
I know.
Drift has
Oh, and
had
the
quite a
after-
we
few
must
of
return
those
to
moments.
stealthiness.
Yeah,
Drift has had a few of those moments in those past episodes. It's like, we're gonna do the thing. Absolutely destroyed.
Well, yeah, he's such
How
a
did he
serious
survive?
character. You got to take him down a couple notches every once in a while. I know
Yeah.
Bowser would be sad, but
Grim used to be my favorite, but now Drift is.
yeah.
Just especially after one of our mini cons is missing. I just
Yeah.
he's my favorite.
he's one of my favorites
ridiculous.
to draw. He's a lot of fun to draw. Just
Yeah?
the samurai aspect of him
Yes.
is really cool.
That's my favorite
And he has
toy.
these big blocky
warrior
shapes
class
that are just
drift.
nice. Yeah.
That's really nice.
He's like half feudal samurai, half disappointed dad.
It's a great way to put it.
It really
Yeah.
is. And just let's talk about this final fight.
Okay.
Because the final fight was amazing. And we have two Dinobots going at it in dino form. And that's when you start getting the T-Rex roar from Jurassic Park
I
laid
know.
over Grimlock. And just, this was some really, I don't want to say rough choreography. It was, I don't want to
Gritty.
say violent.
I feel like-
Gritty. Gritty is a really
Yeah.
good word.
I feel like
I don't think we've seen Grimlock bite anyone's head before.
Yeah,
that was
so
a
cool.
thing.
Yeah.
I feel like this was the most like violent, if you will, fight since that one with Legion of Spiders. Remember? And like Fix It
Oh, where
gets
they're
like
getting
bonked over
electrocuted.
the head.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. It
Yeah.
really visceral.
Yeah, there
I
was
guess
a,
is
there was a
good
lot
word.
of just like physical smashing of things.
And
It was-
Polygon did so good. So
Yeah,
when I saw
it was
this
neat.
footage, I was just like, oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
they're
really
fantastic.
It was very exciting.
It's just you can see that the episode has cranked it up a notch.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this is not what I was. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And like I said, it was longer.
Mm.
It was longer. But
I
at some
would watch
point
the
it kind
entire
of
fight.
at some point it was just getting repetitive. So that's
Right.
one of the
Point.
other reasons. Yeah. By the way, you guys didn't even mention how what happened right before, which was one of my favorite scenes in the whole thing that happened right before the big showdown.
Before the big showdowns.
The meditation. I have this. I think my notes say Drift should be proud.
Yeah, you would. You would. They're not fidgeting at all.
Yeah.
Nope.
She's like, you people could die there and you'd never notice. I love
Grimlock
the
just
meditation
catching all the
circle.
rocks.
Yes.
All the rocks.
It's
yeah.
great.
And then throwing them all at Scowl. Like,
Yep.
yep, that's a good way to do it. And using that giant water ball. I've seen this, that the fountains that just have
Yeah.
the huge ball of
Yeah.
marble in the middle. Lying to Scowl about, oh yeah, I've seen the light. What's the point of a Dinobot who's not smashing what he wants? And then utterly destroying him with that. It's...
Nice little golf swing.
I'm a little surprised we didn't end with Cannonball, but I rather like
Oh.
this.
Yeah, or Kaswak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
his
yeah,
other one.
yeah, yeah.
Kaswak.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
So that was...
We'll go back and re-edit that one. No?
It
Teresa,
might be a
no?
little late.
That was an incredible fight.
Maybe for the
and an
Blu-rays.
incredible ending.
Yeah.
And I love the little wheel of morality bit we got at the end, that you can't help someone who doesn't want to be
Yeah.
helped. Because again, that's something that kids can take away from this. You
Yeah.
can't force someone to be something they're not. Grim was willing to change, willing to learn.
Yeah.
And so he was able to, but Scowl is not at
Yeah.
all interested.
Yep.
And so I like that. It was Wheel of Morality, but it didn't smack of Wheel of
Yeah,
Morality.
it wasn't so heavy-handed that you
Yeah.
felt like it got preachy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not at
It
all.
just was
Grimlock's
a
really
nice,
accessible character, I find, so that probably helped it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know, I'm sure the kids love him. He's a T-Rex, but kids don't like
know.
dinosaurs.
And that,
That's still a thing.
which is another point. My 9-year-old boy Quentin loves the show. Sets his alarm every morning, or every Saturday morning for 6:20, so he
my
can go
God.
watch it.
watches it live.
Even though he's
Oh,
already
that's so
seen,
adorable.
even though Dad's already brought the episodes home to
Right,
show him.
right.
And my daughter, who's an aspiring animator at age 12, also
Aw.
Elena, loves the show too. So
Good.
another special
wonderful.
thing. I couldn't show her a lot of the adult stuff that I was the
The other
prime
stuff that you
time
worked
stuff.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it, yeah, some of it, no. So this was kind of nice to have
Yeah.
the kids be able to watch something and be excited.
Nice.
You know.
So let's swing into predictions. Because we end with a
better turn
70s
around.
dance
Yeah.
party and the what exactly did we miss?
Now, your
I love the
AfterBuzz
Laser Light Show.
TV predictions.
I will never not love the Laser Light Show. So you guys know what's going to happen. So I feel like you should have popcorn while you're listening to us talk.
Knows everything.
I'm gonna not look at you guys in the eye.
I know
Yeah.
nothing.
So what do you think is coming down? We've got
Well,
4 episodes till the end of the season.
I mean, based on what we saw in the last episode, we know that there is an antithesis to Robot Jesus, who is
that's Unicron, dear. That's Robot Satan.
who is
Robot
on
Satan.
his way, and things are going to be bad. He can also project himself into reflective surfaces.
It's a remember who you are moment, but if Scar showed up.
Yeah, exactly. So he's gonna show up, and Optimus is gonna complete his Kinkai training course and return to Earth to be the defender of us all.
How did you know all that? How did you know that was all going to happen?
I'm psychic.
What? Oh my!
We went
did I
to
just say
Comic
that?
Con.
Are we live?
It's all aired in China.
That's true. We've definitely had some people go, I can't wait for you to see. And I'm like, watch it while it airs, guys.
Okay,
Breathe.
here's the thing is I actually will say that part of that I know from seeing the teaser at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So,
I got you.
Yeah.
But that was pretty dang obvious. That was the villainous entrance that we got in Comic-Con that was like, okay, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Woo. We only have 4 episodes left. 2 of them are the 2-part season finale. So I think this is our last getting to know you character building sort of episode, and that we are going to be hitting the plot really hard from here on out.
Yeah.
We have Windblade next week.
Yay! I'm so excited.
I am so excited. Oh my god, we're going to pass the Bechdel test.
Yay! Maybe. Maybe. She and Strongarm need to have a conversation.
That isn't about a guy.
About a guy.
Yep.
And I did the first of the 2-parter, by the way.
Oh, you did? Oh, awesome.
Well, hey, if you want to come back.
Well, maybe.
So I am super excited for all of that, and I'm sure it's going to be an absolute wild ride from start to finish. And hey, we're going to have Optimus back in the land of the living for some form of... And you're nodding over here, so I know that's a yes. So,
Dan? What? Dude.
it's okay. It's not a premature season 2 announcement, so you're good.
That's right.
Things that we will
Not
never
pulling
let
a-
go
not
of
pulling
on
a
this
Mitchell.
show.
No.
Right.
Yeah, basically anyone who comes on this show and doesn't talk about season 2 before it's been officially announced is ahead of Mitchell, so.
Yeah. Yeah. And he knows it.
Yes.
We should have him on for the first episode of season 2 when we recap it. So
that's
Mitchell,
so awesome.
how's season 3 coming along?
Or I think, season 76, Roger said.
That was it.
Right.
Roger confirmed season 76 on Twitter because
Thanks,
of Roger.
Signed an NDA for a reason.
Yeah, I know. Fired.
So what does a lore master do? Or a script coordinator, either or both.
It's it's a productions on the production side of things. So I help sort of manage the writer's time and go to writers' meetings and take all the notes and make sure that all this stuff gets funneled into the episodes eventually. I get to hang out at the not hang out. I get to make sure that everyone says their lines right, or else like, they didn't do it right.
You skipped one. Now it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, seriously. No, that's my favorite part of my job is hanging out with those guys, man. They are a riot, as you know. I mean, by hanging out with Mitchell and Roger and Eric Bauza. Who else have you guys had?
We had Stuart on as well. Yeah.
Stuart
was wonderful.
And John Stephen Rocha, who was
the Springload.
Springload.
Yeah. They're all
Hypnotoad,
Hypnotoad,
essentially.
yeah. So you guys got a little snippet of what
The
I,
insanity.
of what I do. Yeah.
Well, in Dan's right outside my office, so I'm always like, Dan, I need a reference. Like, what is this thing? What, and he would just go, episode 6, Act 2. About 2 minutes in, I'll be thanks, and go back in and look. So he's got that stuff.
So do you know all of the everything ever about Transformers, or do you just have to keep Prime, Rescue Bots, Robots
Yeah,
straight?
with regards to Prime in our show, I'm pretty much an encyclopedia.
Yeah, he is.
I sometimes mutter the lines under my breath at my desk. It's kind of scary.
Would you ever consider compiling all of your vast knowledge into a singular tome?
Can we
available
see
for
the
purchase?
World Bible is what we're
The
asking.
tome.
Can we see the World
Tome
Bible?
exists. I'm afraid that's still something that is watermarked and unavailable for
the
public
general public.
consumption. Maybe one day.
Someday.
Who is running Cybertron?
Well, I think we've heard from a lot of the episodes that there's something fishy going on there. I don't know.
Yes, but is it the same council from before the war, or is it? I'm just going to put you on the spot here and watch what you do.
I don't know.
Watch the sweat.
Exactly.
This
is why there are people who
see me blushing.
This is why there are people who are scared to come on our show. We know too much.
Yeah.
I'm actually interested in the answer too, Dan.
Who knows?
Cue up the Jeopardy theme back there. We'll see how that goes. So, are you guys working on anything else that you can tell us about? Anything not covered by NDAs, or is it all just Robots in Disguise upcoming episodes?
Just remember that anything not covered by NDAs.
We have to do that caveat because we've definitely had people go, Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Time there.
I don't know.
I know nothing.
I know nothing. You know what? I was thinking when you guys were saying about how season 2's out there,
Right.
that would be a great way to get people to talk about season 2 before it's actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it hadn't, you could just be, look, it's all over the internet now,
Yeah.
and then me and Dan would start talking about it, and so.
Sneaky.
All we know is that it exists.
All we know, yeah.
And that's probably all we're going to know until it starts airing. Or next year's Comic-Con panel, whatever happens.
Yeah. I mean, it just said airing in 2016. They didn't specify a date, so we'll see what happens.
That's a long time to wait.
I know.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It's hard to believe there's only 4 episodes left now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's crazy.
So,
Yeah.
any final thoughts on this episode? Any final thoughts moving into the next one?
Do we want to do the Russell Hustle? Maybe not.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god,
Russell
what?
Hustle?
They
Oh,
did.
is that...
That's the
That's
dance.
what he calls it. That's
Oh,
what he
yeah.
calls it at the end. What exactly did we miss?
Yeah.
that...
Another dance that another animation that Polygon nailed.
Yeah.
I love
Yes.
the dance because
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
dancing in animation looks awful.
Yeah.
Not super easy to do.
No,
I liked Fix-It doing the robot.
Fix-It
So was
figuring it out.
right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know, the Japanese ending theme with the dancing is...
You guys saw
that?
Oh my god, that's
How
the
would we
greatest.
know?
So great.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Ugh, if only we had another 30 seconds to tell on the things we could do.
Oh, that'd be so good. I would only say the stakes rise a little bit here in these last 4, and
That's
which
a safe bet.
Which was another nice thing for me to do, having come out of these more funnier ones. It was kind of nice to get into my last episode, there was some stuff on the line, and it felt like more like what these guys must have felt like going through every episode of Prime.
Yeah.
I finally got to experience some of that excitement. So.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm just harkening back to what I've been saying for the whole episode, that I really enjoyed seeing a more complex side of Grimlock, just showing a little more depth of character, or really just displaying what we knew all along, that he's a good one, that Grim.
Well, and I think when did you get so smart? Just kind of sums it up.
Yeah.
Aw, you're sweet.
No.
Thanks, B. What's smart me?
Definitely looking forward to the stakes rising. Definitely looking forward to seeing what's coming down the pipe for these final 4 episodes. And guys, Windblade.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
I'm really excited for you guys. Being able to see these things for the first time again would be awesome.
Yes.
Right, where can the people find you if they want to find out more, talk to you, all that fun stuff?
I'm on Twitter at Salgatron. Which is
Pretty great.
Did that Twitter handle come before or after you started working on Transformers?
I don't want to say it came before, but
And I'm Frank Marino at Marino Animation.
All right.
I'm Emma Fyffe. At Emma Fyffe. You can also see me on the Face Off after show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know about all the many endeavors I have outside of the scope of AFTERBUZZ.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. You can find Alexis on Twitter at Alexis890 and Megan on Twitter at TheManguin, TheMenguin. I'm also on the Red vs. Blue after show, which we'll have another one in a couple weeks, and the X-Ray and Vav after show, which is starting up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I write articles for the movie Chick, that's Chick with 2 Ks, and, I'm not busy enough. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. And as always, transform and roll out!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.